if they see him in the playoffs, I expect that is exactly what they will do. But that does not help them in Week 9 where they lost a game that, look, the Bills deserve to win, but quite frankly, it felt like the Chiefs really did everything they could to lose that game.
It's that football show here on KC Sports Network. Tucker Franklin hanging out with Matt Verderame for your post-game pod. I guess this is technically our post-game pod. Breaking down the Chiefs' loss to the Buffalo Bills. Thank you to our friends at Ben Holiday Bottled and Bond Bourbon and Holiday Distillery for getting this program up and running. Chiefs do lose to the Buffalo Bills 28-21 on the road in a game where, frankly, was a frustrating one to watch, Matt.
I could scream about this game for about 45 minutes, but won't. Maybe half that time. That game felt like maybe the FBI has another investigation to do on sports gambling. Was there like a massive amount of action on the Bills money line from the visiting locker room 20 minutes prior to game time? I mean, look, in all seriousness, my wife always says this, and it's two things can be true at once.
Yeah.
And usually when she says it's two things that are bad about me, they're also true at once. And they are. Look, I thought the Bills played like literally as well as they could possibly play a game.
Yeah.
I don't think they could. And I think they would tell you that. Like, Allen had as many total touchdowns as he had in completions.
Insane.
They had an 100-yard receiver and a 100-yard rusher, both things that Chiefs hadn't given up until this game. Like,
yeah,
they hit Mahomes 15 times in this game. I don't know that it's humanly possible that the Bills, if you played this game 100 times, could play better. They outgained the Chiefs by 99 yards, 7 first downs. They only took 4 penalties. They were 7-12 on third down. The Chiefs were 3 of 13. Chiefs were one of the best third down teams in the league. The Chiefs were 2 of 3 in the red zone, which isn't terrible, but the Bills were 3 of 3 in the red zone and had the ball for 9.5 minutes more than the Chiefs. Like, I don't know that it is humanly possible for the Bills to play a better football game.
Yeah.
What is also true is I thought the Chiefs basically pissed their pants for 4 quarters, 3.5 quarters. And I thought it was everything. I thought it was the coaching. I thought it was the players. Like, we talked about this game, and I was honest. And I'm sure somebody will say it, if not multiple people, and fair enough. Like, oh, you thought they were going to kill him. I did. I thought the Chiefs were going to win this game like 34-24.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be honest. After watching that game, I kind of think they should have. But if they had just played, and not that they deserve to, they certainly didn't deserve to.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if the Chiefs just played a good game by their standards, and the Bills played like a normal game, I think the Chiefs probably win that game. Maybe not by 10, but I think they would have won. But they didn't. And what matters is what was on the scoreboard. And the Bills won. They deserved to win. They kicked the Chiefs' ass all over the field.
Yep.
I felt like that game was poorly played by Kansas City, and even worse, even a worse job by the coaching staff. That game, I couldn't tell you what the game plan was. And it shone through bright as all get out all night long.
I think let's start with the coaching aspect of it, because you hit on something that I hit on the postgame show. What was my immediate takeaway is that, both you and I have watched a lot of Buffalo Bills football this year, and that was the best game, not even close, that they have played. Like
a mile.
I mean, Cole Bishop looked like Ed fucking Reed out there, dude. Like, what happened? Why did Cole Bishop
been genuinely horrendous?
Yeah,
the entire season, and literally looked like he's going to the Hall of Fame.
It was an insane, like, he was doing like stuff out of script too. Like, he was like leaving his coverage area, going and making plays. And it was one of those things where it's just like, what is happening? So, like, look, I mean, that happens, right? Like, those other guys are getting paid too. They came up, they played a really good game. Their defensive line that looked absolutely abysmal has been decimated by injuries. All of a sudden, Joey Bosa has decided he's going to start playing a football again. So he's going to start playing good. That's the best game he's played in a really long time. I mean, that's the best game that a lot of those guys on the defensive line have played in a really long time. They got after the Chiefs. Now, the Chiefs' offensive line didn't block all that well, but I think the Bills playing a very good game is a part of the reason. Look, as you mentioned, Josh Allen was 23 of 26, 273 yards, 1 touchdown through the air, 2 more that he sniped on the ground. James Cook, which one of them? I don't even know if he crossed the goal line. I thought that one they like did an expedited review on, but they called it. I don't know. Whatever. They were probably still going to score a touchdown there. But James Cook, 27 rushes, 114 yards, no touchdowns for him on the day. They gave those to Josh Allen instead. But I do want to talk about the coaching because I think this game kind of swung at halftime, truthfully, when they take a 19-yard field goal instead of running the football on. It's 4th down, right? So I understand. They get down there. Hollywood Brown gets down at the 1. They have I can't remember. It's like 30 seconds left, right? 20 seconds left. So then they get down there. They run the ball from the shotgun, I believe.
Yeah.
From the shotgun, the next play, they have one timeout. They call it with 15 left on the clock. So then at that point, they have second, third, and I was thinking at the time, Matt, I don't know about you, 4th down. So you're thinking, okay, you have 3 plays to score here, to score a touchdown, because when you double up, you would like to double up with 2 touchdowns, not a field goal and a touchdown, or 2 field goals. That was the Chiefs double up. Last year was a field goal and a field goal. But they've this year have been really good in those middle 8, right? That middle 8 section, last 4 of the second, first 4 of the third. And they set themselves up to be in a perfect position to control that game. They score a touchdown. They get the ball back after half. They could go down and score another touchdown. They would have been in control. Like, they would have had firm control of that game. Yep. Instead, they run a super bizarre concept on 2nd down that no one is open for. On 3rd down, they also run a play that Travis Kelce nearly gets
killed,
knocked out of the game. Yeah, I mean, he got smoked, by Cole Bishop again. Was that Cole Bishop who did that?
Yeah, and everywhere.
What the hell?
Usually he's everywhere and not in a good way, but apparently in this game, it was just everywhere.
And then they settled for a 19-yard field goal, which is the worst field goal I think that you could ever take in the history of taking field goals. Instead of, with no timeouts, again, no timeouts. I understand the pass plays on those first 2 plays, but 4th down, you've been running the ball pretty damn well. I think at that point, Kareem Hunt had been averaging 6.8 yards per carry. Yep. And the offensive line had been blocking pretty well. They elect to take a field goal, and I kind of felt like, man, I don't know how you felt, but like they kicked the field goal, and it almost seemed like in the stadium, everyone they were like, "Oh, thank goodness they chose to kick the field goal! Oh my goodness, we really lucked out on that one." Like, Bills fans were sighing a sigh of relief when they chose to kick the field goal, and I just did not understand that one.
So there was a part of me in the moment that was like, I get why they're kicking, because if they get nothing out of this, this is an absolute abject disaster, and they have to get points. It's a 1-score game. That being said, there were 2 sequences in the second quarter of the game that, to me, completely changed the game. The first one, they were down 14-10. They had a 1st and 10 right around midfield, and then they had they got it to where it was 3rd and 3. And so they're sitting there with 3rd and 3. It was on the Bills side of the field. I'm going to pull up the exact spot. It was a 46-yard line. They had 3rd and 3. So 1st and 10, they hand off to Clyde Edwards-Helaire because, what fucking year is it? Who knows? They give it to him. He gains 7. It's 3rd and 3 at the Bills' 39-yard line at this point. Like, I'm not by any means saying they should be kicking a field goal here. Like, it's 4-down territory. Fine. But I just do not understand, for the life of me, is on 3rd and 3 there, to me, there are 2 acceptable things that you do if you know you're going for it on 4 downs, which they did. One is you just run the ball. Like, you just got 7 yards with a guy who hasn't played football in a year. I mean, I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe slam that mother back up in there and see what happens. Like, I just don't understand not running it there, unless you sat there and said, okay, it's 3rd and 3. We're at the 39-yard line. It's kind of prime shot play territory. Like, you know what? Maybe we've got one dialed up here. Maybe it's one of these things where we go, hey, okay, we have a play we really like that we've been sitting on, that we feel like this is the prime down and distance to take a shot. Okay.
Yep.
They instead threw what I guess you would call like not even a screen, like like a unbelievably quick out at the line of scrimmage to Xavier Worthy, but not just a quick out to Xavier Worthy at the line of scrimmage, to the wide side of the field. You're talking about, like, I know on TV it doesn't seem this way. That's like a 30-yard pass to try to gain, I don't know, a foot. Like, I just don't, that play never, ever in a million years should be run to the wide side of the field, ever.
Yeah.
They run to the right side of the field. They're lucky it wasn't picked off. Of course, the Chiefs, by the way, weren't even set, and it would have been a penalty because they had illegal formation on the play. It gets declined, and so Juwan Taylor got his penalty, and even though technically it's not really on him, but it's called to him. They go to 4th and 3, and, like, look, I don't mind them throwing at Cole Bishop with Rashee Rice. Like,
yeah,
fine.
You'll take that.
Okay, he didn't get it, fine, but, like, fine. That third down play is infuriating. If you run the ball there, you've got a damn good chance of picking it up. If you don't pick it up, all right, you're probably on, 4th and a yard? So that's number one. Number two, and this is, I know this is either going to infuriate people or they're going to just be like slamming their heads into the screen, agreeing with me. When they had 1st and goal at the 1 with Brown after the big catch down the field right before half, I'm just going to say it. I don't give a shit that Mahomes got hurt like 3 decades ago on a quarterback sneak. It is the most efficient play in the NFL. It is the most proof positive play of, like, you're going to gain what you need to get. It's about a 90-yard conversion rate.
Yeah.
And if he's not willing to do it, then put somebody else's ass under center and jam forward. If it's Rice, if it's Gray, if it's Kelsey, I don't give a shit if it's Mike Caliendo. Ooh. Put somebody under center and just push him forward for a foot to get into the end zone. And if you're not going to do that, which I think is ridiculous, but if you're not going to do that, then get Mahomes under center and hand the ball off on an out of under center run.
Right.
I do not understand what their fetish is, which is, hey, we're at the goal line. We need a foot. You know, it'd be great if we turn this into needing a 5-yard run. Like, you have Kareem Hunt. You don't have Jamal Charles. Mm-hmm. Get under center, hand off quick, and jam the football into the end zone. I just don't get it. I don't understand what the thought process is. I don't get why they do it. They never have an answer for it. Andy has never once explained in umpteenth years of pressers why they do that. And, like, the injury thing on the sneak, I'm just over it. He got a dislocated kneecap 6 years ago.
Right. Yeah.
Get over it. That's like saying I'm never going to date a girl who wears jeans on the first date again. Like, why? Because one time it went wrong 6 years ago? Like,
yeah.
Get under center and run it. And, like, that was your thing, by the way. Like, with Rice, they ran twice with him early in the game. Like, he ran for a touchdown.
Yes. Yeah, good formation. That Wildcat formation's good, yeah. And
the Chiefs, who used it and didn't get touched on a 3-yard were like, no, not here. Like, those two sequences, more than anything else in the game, offensively, I just look at it and say, what were you doing?
Right.
What is the thought process? There's no world you can tell me that sequence of play calling was the highest percentage you could have. Like, it just, I will know nothing about football for the rest of my life compared to Andy Reid. Matt Nagy, I don't know, maybe. But, like, Andy Reid, no way. I cannot understand for the life of me the decisions they make sometimes. And look, to be fair, offensively this year, especially the last month and change, they have been an absolute juggernaut. But in a game like this, it felt like they just tried to get too cute when the answer was just, look, man, just punch him in the mouth.
Yeah.
They don't have an answer for it. Just fucking punch him. Like, it just felt like a boxer trying to jab his opponent a bunch. And, like, look, bro, you're Tyson in 88. Like, just throw a haymaker. Like, it's fine. And if they see him in the playoffs, I expect that is exactly what they will do. But that does not help them in week 9 where they lost a game that, look, the Bills deserve to win, but quite frankly, it felt like the Chiefs really did everything they could to lose that game.
It's one of those things where it does seem, when we talk about this, it does seem kind of like arrogant and short-sighted and pompous in any other word that you want to say. Just like, oh, this is a regular season matchup, so like it doesn't really matter all that much. The Chiefs will see him and beat him in the playoffs, but like that's kind of how it's gone. Like that historically, you look up the records. I love that like all these places were like Josh Allen 5-1 against Patrick Mahomes in the regular season, because if you talk about that postseason record, there's not a 1. There's not a 1 for Josh Allen in that one. It is 4-0 for Patrick Mahomes in that one. But like I know that that's like an annoying thing to do, to be like, well, I know this is just a regular season matchup, especially after you watch like how the Chiefs played and how, you know what, there's some clear like signs of frustration, points of frustration in this game that we can talk about it and we can critique this team. And I know that when we talk about this team and this franchise, you have to be nitpicky. I know some people are like, well, look, I mean, they're still a really good football team, right? They're still really good, but you have to be nitpicky when you're talking about this team just because of they are good. They are a good football team. So when something like the pass rush doesn't get home, and that seemed to be a glaring weakness, you kind of got to harp on it a little bit because we are picking nits here when it comes to this team. But allowing Josh Allen to sit back there at his leisure,
right,
and just pick apart this team when you got guys out there that shouldn't be covering certain guys, like they're all tight ends. Also, their whole tight end room looks the exact same and wears pretty much identical numbers. And I think that's kind of crazy. It takes me every time there's a throw to a tight end and it's 80 something. I'm just like, wait, which one is that? Okay, I got you. But it didn't matter. It seemed like the Chiefs were just as lost out there when they had tight ends out there because they could not cover a tight end for at least the first half. I mean, it was not very pretty for the Chiefs defense out there. And this game, I think, just amplified the need for a pass rusher, for the needing of a pass rusher. Chris Jones has yet to step up and take over a game this year. George Karlaftis only wins when there's at least 6 seconds for him to make a pass rush move. Derek Nottie is 119 out of 119 on PFF. Take that for what you want to.
They've actually overrated him.
Yeah, fair. He might be 120 of 119, truthfully. But it's one of those things where this defensive line right now, Jerry Tillery is another guy out there. They just signed Mike Pennell. Cool, I guess. Shout out cutting that guy and then bringing him back while Elijah Mitchell,
which is more than any other defensive tackle on the team had.
Yeah, I mean, look, and did Elijah Mitchell really take his roster spot? Or were we blaming the wrong person for taking his roster spot? Because Elijah Mitchell has the easiest job of all time. He gets $12 million to show up and stand on the sideline in street clothes. I didn't know what Elijah Mitchell's number was before today because I looked it up because I was like, I wonder what number Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to wear because we haven't seen him in a number.
Yeah.
The construction of this roster is like spots 50 to 53 are some of the head scratching decisions, right? I know that we always are. Again, this is nitpicky, right? Who cares about spots 50 to 53? We do. If you listen to the show, you probably care about spots 50 to 53. And that's one of the more frustrating ones. The Pennell, the Nottie, the Elijah Mitchell, how all that's kind of shaped out and worked out. That's frustrating to me. But the defensive line, November 4th is the deadline at 3 p.m. Central Time, I believe, 4 Eastern. Are they going to make a move, Matt? Are they going to do something for a pass rusher? I don't know who's out there at this point, who wants to sell, but their pass rush sucks. It's bad.
Probably, but are they going to make a move that massively changes things? Probably not. Yeah. Xavier Worthy had more tackles in this game than Charles Omenihu and Jerry Tillery combined, and Xavier Worthy had 1 tackle. Mike Dana and Derek Nottie each had 1 tackle.
It was on the pick where he had no idea where the football was, right?
Correct. Yeah, just was running like Ray Charles down the field looking for it.
His ball tracking has been awful since he's gotten to the NFL. I knew he did okay at Texas, but he didn't know where the sideline was last year.
At least he's aware where the sideline is. That's key. Look, it's right where he went after that play. That game plan felt like it was devised by Helen Keller. I think even she somewhere up above or wherever was just watching the game going even I see that. It was unbelievable watching the game. We haven't even touched on this defense, which look, my main goal on this podcast is to properly convey the fact that I am thoroughly annoyed with the way they played while also thinking that in the grand scheme of things, they're still going to be where they want to be in January, home or away.
They're still the odds-on favorite in DraftKings to win the AFC and the Super Bowl.
Yeah, like, it's the kind of game that elicits takes on Twitter. Like, I knew they're garbage, and then, like, in 3 weeks from now, people are like, this is the best team I've ever watched. Like, it's just like, look, I'm not going to go that route. I still think that even if this ends up being a wonky year, even if they don't win the division, are you really going to pick, like, Pittsburgh to beat them at home in a playoff game? Good luck. You ride them.
Hell no. Yeah.
Right? So, like, I'm trying to toe that line. I will say this about them defensively today. I just did not understand at all what they were trying to accomplish. Like, they were kind of trying to stop the run, but, like, also, like, not really. And, like, they were in soft zone a lot. And when they got out of soft zone, they're like, hey, you know what? Like, Drew Tranquil and Dalton Kincaid, that'll be fun. Like, let's see what that does. Like, I will say, if there's one thing that has been a through line with the Chiefs, other than the fact that they're a dynasty and they've won a ton of football games, which might be the most important fact, they do have what I call, like, they will play coma ball, like 5 games a year, where it's just, like, I have no idea what the hell they're trying to accomplish. Zero. And I'm not a big believer in the whole, like, they're not showing them anything. Like, you're playing games, okay? I will say in this game, there was a part of me that's like, this game plan is so fucking bad that, like, is that what's happening? Like, are they, like, is this, like, the whole plan? Are they just, like, screw it? Like,
did they do the Mike Leach fake game plan? You know, the fake script that Mike Leach dropped against to OU in Texas when he was on the OU side. Yeah. Like,
there's a part of me, it's like, were they literally in this game just like, screw it? Like, we're not going to do one thing we've actually do. But I don't believe that deep down. I just think that they had a horrible plan. I just think at some point here, you've got to put Jaden Hicks on the field against tight ends. You just have to. I'm sorry. You cannot continue to do this. I'm not annoyed with Drew Tranquil. Drew Tranquil's out there doing the best he can. He is not equipped to do that.
Right.
It's like asking, like, Trent McDuffie to play D tackle. Be like, I can't believe you got blown out of that hole there.
Maybe he should.
Yeah. Oh my God. One guy too who I've defended all year because I genuinely think he's deserved to be defended, but I'm going to criticize him right here because I also think he deserves criticism. In this case, is Jones.
100%.
Like, Jones has not put up a ton of stats this year, but he's also been, like, all over the field for the most part.
Yeah.
He had a killer mistake against Jacksonville. And it wasn't a physical error. He just stopped trying.
Chargers, too.
Chargers game, like, mental error. Not physical error. It was just a complete mental whiff. This game, there's no one play that I'd point to and be like, oh, that's the play. Buddy, they're paying you $32 million a year. Like, I'm not asking you to break in there and have 3 sacks and a forced fumble, but, like, you need to be involved in the game. And he was nowhere to be found in that game. And that also leads me to, we joke about him all the time. You said it, it's Carl Loftus. Look, man, you're getting paid a lot of money. Your half sack doesn't mean crap. Like, you need to be able to beat Deion Dawkins and Spencer Brown occasionally. I know they're good players. I'm not asking you to beat them every time. I'm not asking you to look like Joey Bosa against Wanya Morris. But I am asking you to, like, I don't know, have 4 pressures, 5 pressures.
Right.
Seems reasonable. Like, yeah, it's a weird thing to say. Allen went 23-26. Their corners didn't even play badly.
No.
He had 58 yards to his boundary receivers. Everything was in the middle of the field. Every single pass he threw that he completed was to tight ends and backs or Shakir. And Shakir didn't have a huge game. Shakir had, like, 40 yards or something? Like, he didn't have a...
No, yeah.
He had 7 catches for 43 yards. Big deal. Who cares? Like that. They got smoked by the tight ends and by Cook running the ball. And what's frustrating about that is anyone with a functioning brain cell knew that that's how the Bills were going to. We talked about it. Yeah. We sat here and we're like, look, the way they lose is not executing in the red zone. Which is turnover battle -1. And you need to be able to have some kind of answer for Cook and Kincaid in this game because you know that's what's coming. And they maybe 1 for 4, but, like, really kind of like 0 for 4.
Right. Yeah.
Like, just terrible. It's just bad football. You're not going to win if you do that. I figured like the way they've been playing, they'd execute 2 or 3 of those, and that would be enough.
Yeah.
And they didn't. They didn't, and that's why their ass is 5-4 going into their bye week and about to come out and play Denver. Who I got to tell you, I don't think Denver is any fucking good. But
just keep winning.
Like Davis Mills is out there, just like ambling. I don't know if you saw that game.
Yeah, I was watching it.
That game was ridiculous. Davis Mills is like Christian Kirk, wide open down the seam, just throws it 10 yards over his head. I mean.
It's bad. That was bad.
I firmly believe if the Chiefs play well against Denver, they're going to beat them handily. But look, I know everybody out there's like, well, Verderame, you just said that against the Bills. You're right. If the Chiefs play like crap again, they're going to lose. That game, I really will say this. I think that game's the division. If Denver wins that game, it's over. The Chiefs aren't going to catch them.
Right.
Assuming the Broncos beat the Raiders here on Thursday Night Football.
Well, that team, the Raiders. By the way, did you see that game? I know it was at the same time as the Chiefs game was, but like I had it on the second TV.
I did not watch
it. Dude, they're so bad. Also, I was watching that game thinking, how the fuck did the Chiefs lose to the Jags? The Jags are bad too. Like both of those teams.
That's the loss that haunts them to no end. If they had won that game, you wouldn't even care about that. You'd be like, who gives a shit? They're 6-3.
Yeah, right.
It's their obligatory loss to a team they're going to beat in 2 months. Like, it's fine. You wouldn't even get it's because they lost to that bullshit team.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. But now you come out, look, the Broncos are going to beat the Raiders. It'll probably be the ugliest game you've ever witnessed, but they're going to beat them.
It'll come back from a fourth quarter deficit.
They'll score 58 points in the fourth to come back and pull it out by 2. I mean, it's like, it's unbelievable.
I don't get it. I don't understand them.
You're going to have 8-2 Denver against 5-3 Kansas City, or 5-4 Kansas City.
Yeah.
Which on the whole, you're like, oh my God, it's a 2.5 game lead. But here's the reality. It's a 2 game lead in the loss column.
Yeah.
The Chiefs play them twice. If the Chiefs beat them twice, they control their own destiny, and their schedule down the stretch, I'd argue, is easier than Denver's. So, like, I don't think, because, like, they both have to play the Chargers at home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Chiefs get the Titans and the Raiders. I got to tell you.
Week 18 Raiders might actually be the funniest game of all time.
In a game the Chiefs may actually need for once.
Right.
Yeah. Just an absolute murder scene for 4 quarters. But in any event, look, my point is, like, the Chiefs, the reality is losing this game is now you do not have a runway. You have to win.
Right.
And if you beat Denver twice, you got a really good shot at winning the division. You do, especially if, I don't know, is Joe Alt, has that been announced yet? Like, what's going on?
I don't know officially if it's been announced, but like you leave it on a card, Joe Alt leaving on a card in the middle of that game. The Titans were frisky in that game.
The Titans had 2 non-offensive touchdowns a match. Okay. I mean, but they hit Herbert like 11 times and sacked him 6 times.
Cam Ward is so bad.
He's not an NFL player. Jeffrey Simmons didn't even play in that game.
Insane.
And they gave up 6 sacks to the Titans. They are not going to win the division. Like, I can just spare everybody the time right now. So, like, that's where I kind of sit here and go, by the way, I look forward to when the Chiefs play the Chargers without Alt and Slater and don't sack Herbert once.
Right.
Just make it look unbelievable. It's the best offensive line you've ever seen. Like,
they have 3 pressures and 2 of them come over 5 seconds.
Yeah, from like Chamari Connor. Yeah, it'll be great. Can't wait. And then they'll play like an elite offensive line and just kill them.
Right. Like, yeah. This team doesn't make any sense. They don't make any sense.
So that'll be fun. Like they gave up 15 hits to a Bills team that can't rack up 15 quarterback hits in a month. They'll play Denver and give up 2.
Yeah.
You know, don't hold me to that. But, you know, I mean, look, it's like at some point here, I really do believe that if the Chiefs can beat Denver coming out of the bye, like, I think they'll be all right.
Yeah.
Because the rest of that schedule, look, we saw the Colts play the Steelers today, and
Daniel Jones came back to earth a little bit.
Daniel Jones looking a lot like Daniel Jones in that game.
Yeah.
3 picks, 2 lost fumbles, and I'm telling you, I watched that game.
I'd say,
bro, he could have had 9 turnovers.
Every snaps, yeah. I watched every snap.
He was throwing balls that you're like, ooh, that should have been picked. And then like 2 plays later, like, oh my God, like 4 guys had a chance at that. Tomlin had a chance at that.
Well, look, I mean, the Colts offensive line played their worst game they've played all year against.
Yeah, beat up pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Speaking of offensive line,
5 times.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor. See, this is the thing I was interested in. If somebody could stop Jonathan Taylor, what would happen? Well, he rushed for 45 yards in this game, and the Colts scored 10 non-garbage time points. Like, that's what happened.
I'll say this, though. In that game, it felt like Steichen kind of panicked because they had that special teams, like, muffed punt.
Yes.
And then the Steelers took the lead after that, and then it felt like he was like, oh, no, we have to score. So we have to throw the ball all the time.
By the way, I have the Sunday Night Football game on mute right now. Dan Quinn, who's currently trailing 31-3, is talking to Melissa Stark on the sideline, like for the free second half interview.
Yeah.
Dan Quinn looks like he's looking at like a non-battlefield right now, giving this interview. Like I'm sorry, it's 31-7. He looks to be in deep emotional pain. Darnold is not throwing an incompletion and is throwing for like 290 yards.
Dude is cooking. He is
unbelievable.
He might. No, I'm not going to say it. Never mind.
MVP?
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah. I love how Josh Allen, by the way, is a favorite for the MVP right now.
That's garbage.
Josh Allen has been, by his standards, awful. And like has, admittedly, like a terrific game against the Chiefs this week. And
he played phenomenal. Sniped some touchdowns, too, on the ground.
Yeah, for sure. But like, to be the MVP favorite's insane. Also, to put a ball in that Steelers-Colts game.
Yeah, yes.
The Steelers did everything they could offensively not to win that game for like 2.5 quarters.
They're so bad. Yeah.
Rodgers threw for 5.8 yards per attempt, and they ran for 1.7 yards per attempt and won the game.
Dude.
Like, the Colts gave that game away, but also, if you watch that game, there was a little whiff of like, something smelled a little fishy with the Colts. Like,
yeah.
Like, look at that. Jonathan Taylor's not running for 300 yards, and they're not playing the Titans. And, like, I don't know. Daniel Jones with the game on his back, not great.
If we're being honest, too, that's the second good team they've played. And, oh, look, that's their second loss.
Are they even good? Are the Steelers even good?
Well, good-ish. Good for the AFC, maybe. Wait, where do I have them on? I've got to do some introspective soul searching on the ass list, by the way. This week, I think might be the hardest week than ever than try to come up with something on the ass list because
the Chiefs, I mean, they've got to move down.
I don't think, but here's the thing. I don't think anyone goes up to badass. I think badass is empty.
It's just, it's like when they put the belt above the ring, like,
yes, because like I'm looking at it, we really do got to take a break. I'm only going to take one break today. That's producer Tucker talking because we as in me, I blew through the first break, and that's okay. We're only taking one break. Everything's going in one. I'm looking at this now. I got to move the Lions down. They lost to that trash ass Vikings team.
Dude, I got to tell you, I don't know where the Packers are on your list right now.
They're kind of ass, and
bro, they got to move.
I think they got to go to ass.
Minimum.
Oh wait. Oh no, I did move them to ass.
They lost to the Panthers and the Browns.
Yeah.
Like, does any team in football have a worse pair of losses than that?
Do you think that the Lions are better than the Chiefs?
No.
I don't think they are either. Do you think the Rams are better than the Chiefs?
At current, yes.
I would say so. Colts?
If I'm being honest, man, like I know like statistics and stuff, but like, do I really think the Colts are better than Chiefs? No, I don't.
Seahawks?
Right now, like kind of earning it.
Yeah, they are. I think the Seahawks. Do you think the Seahawks are better than the Rams?
I would pick the Rams in a neutral site.
So would I. That's why that makes the ass list so fucking hard this time. Because like I'm looking at it, I'm just like, man, there's a lot of teams like I feel like I can't really move.
See, it's hard. If you said to me like who's playing better than the Chiefs, I'd say like Philly right this second.
It's okay.
Seattle, the Rams. I don't know that I'd say Tampa is. Tampa's kind of been weird.
Tampa has been. I don't know what to do with Tampa. I think New England's better than Tampa.
And like New England and Denver are like these like 7-2 teams that haven't beaten anybody, and the same with Indianapolis.
That's true. Yeah.
Like I think you got to put the Bills ahead of Kansas City right now. But here's the thing: I just ripped off 4 teams I'd put ahead of the Chiefs. If the Chiefs played them in a neutral site game in like a playoff scenario, maybe the Rams would beat them. Maybe the Eagles would beat them. I don't think Buffalo or Seattle would beat them. I don't. Not like a playoff style game. I don't.
Yeah. I think badass is going to be vacant. I think kind of ass is probably going to work. I'm probably going to have to move some teams down. I think the line's got to go to kind of ass, actually.
Sure.
Maybe the Chiefs have to go to kind of ass.
I mean,
after that performance,
got to go down.
They got to go down. They got to go
like that.
I'll have to do some introspective soul searching. I'll tweet this out probably after the Sunday Night Football game is done. So by the time you listen to this podcast, it'll already be out on Twitter because that's how podcasting works. But we got to take our first break. I do, Matt, before we totally move on to the rest of the NFL, because there are still some games I want to talk about in the NFL that happened. Because the Bears and Bengals game is maybe the funniest thing that's ever happened in football. Game. Oh my gosh.
I was stuck watching that game until its completion in the Chicago area. And let me tell you something. The Bengals should fire everybody.
They should.
Every single person involved with that team ought to be fired.
I want you to hang on to that. I want you to hang on to that because we are definitely going to get into it. But I got to take a break, or we will never take a break ever if I do not take it right now. Let's do that. I'll be back on the other side to talk about that atrocity of a football game. And I kind of want to talk about the Chiefs O-line for a little bit too. So we'll talk about that. We'll be back right after this. Chiefs.
Just a short drive from Kansas City. Experience the history, the heritage, and the bourbon at Holiday Distillery. Tour Missouri's oldest distillery, where real Missouri bourbon is made the old-fashioned way. Walk the grounds, taste the tradition, and take home a bottle of something special. Make the trip, sip the story. Holiday Distillery, Weston, Missouri. Book your tour at holidaydistillery.com.
Calling all Chiefs fans, you could be on the field at the 50 inside GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now. Enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pre-game coin toss. Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
My name is Terrell Jolly. A lot of people call me TJ, founder and CEO of Integrity Capital Management. So Integrity Capital Management originally started out as a property management firm, but we slowly transitioned to what is described as an incremental development firm that's focused on situational housing. I know most people say affordable, but we believe in creating housing for people that are actually in need and built to the end user. I believe everyone needs a home because when you have home, you have hope. The reality is that when you're building a business, one thing you don't think about is like what a true banking relationship means. And, I had the honor and privilege of meeting Debbie early on in my career when I was just trying to get going. And as a small business, it's really challenging at times because people don't understand the concept or not believe the longevity because you're just getting started. But Debbie was willing to take a chance on me, be patient with me. I almost look at it like a grassroots initiative. She's seen and believe what I'm about. Anybody that's really true about their business and want to get some things done, I would definitely trust hands down Emprise because Deb's team, along with Aaron and Jackie and all the amazing people that work behind the scenes, even from the treasury side, I would say, hey, give them an opportunity because you won't be disappointed and you will actually be in hands that actually somebody care and that will see you from start to finish.
Chiefs Kingdom, what is your favorite touchdown? By now, you guys already know that my favorite touchdown is the next one because with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. From first touchdown score to anytime touchdown props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. You want spreads? They got it. Over-unders? DraftKings got you covered. Same-game parlays, regular parlays? DraftKings has it, and you need it. And here's the best part. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Your team hitting pay dirt pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code KCSN. That's code KCSN for new customers to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. Matt, I think we should talk about the Chiefs' offensive line a little bit. And we talked about some of the stuff that is maybe not necessarily having options or answers at the ready for the Chiefs when it comes to the pass rush. You don't really have an answer at the ready. The offensive line kind of does, right? With Josh Simmons, you would hope, comes back and he becomes the starting left tackle, and this offense automatically clicks into what they were against the Raiders and the Commanders and the Lions and the Ravens. You hope that. But this stat here from Next Gen Stats, the Bills pressured Patrick Mahomes on 52.6% of his dropbacks. I mean, that's a ton of pressure. A lot of that comes from the offensive line. A lot of that starts and ends with the offensive line and how they performed. Mahomes was 3 of 16 on passes for 61 yards when he was pressured. That's bad. And Mahomes, there was a lot of times, I know we already kind of talked about, where Mahomes he's got to let some of those balls go without taking some of those sacks back there. But 15 of 34 on the day for Mahomes, 250 yards, no touchdowns. His completion percentage over expected, I know how we all feel about over expected numbers, is minus 2.7. So thoughts on the Chiefs' offensive line, their protection against a Bills front that necessarily didn't have very good players this year playing.
Interior was very good. I thought the tackles got boat raced a good amount of that game. Joey Bosa looked like he was 23 years old, and that was because Juwan Taylor was terrible, and that was followed up by Wanye Morris looking like he doesn't know what sport he plays. Listen, I got to tell you, and I'm trying to think of a way to say this without being inconsiderate. They need Josh Simmons to get on a plane, get back to Kansas City, and get on the field. And that is not to say, look, I don't know what's going on in his personal life. And I'm not going to sit here and be the hard ass who's like, I don't care. Look, he's a human being. That being said, from a football perspective, they really need him to come back. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Greg Rousseau's not cooking Josh Sims. Okay? Jalen Moore, to his credit, I think on the whole has done an admirable job. I'm not sitting here saying he hasn't. And I don't think it would have looked as bad except for the fact that Juwan Taylor was out there just getting absolutely annihilated, snap in and snap out. Followed up by, Wanye Morris just not playing the sport of football. I don't know what that was in the fourth quarter. If he's going to be that bad, seriously, just cut him and bring somebody else in. Because you can't have that as a backup tag. That was ridiculous.
That's a pull on the practice squad.
I mean, that's cool. I don't bring in anybody. You can't play like that. He got killed almost every snap in pass pro.
Right.
Look, that being said, I think fair is fair, and some of that heat and some of those hits, a decent amount of those hits, were on Mahomes. Look, bro, the ball's just there was one play in the third quarter. He got out to the sideline, and he easily either could have ran for a few yards or just chucked the ball away. I think it was a second and long, if memory serves. He stood on the sideline and threw it back across the middle of the field and got literally suplexed into the ground. What are you doing? How is this a smart play for you? What? There's no way that the Chiefs brass is awesome. Do that a whole bunch of times. I mean, you've got to be smarter than that. You're the franchise. And I'm not the guy ever who's well, just give up on a play, whatever. But you've got to have enough of a football IQ. And God knows he does, which is why it's just so frustrating. There is nobody with a higher IQ than that guy in the NFL. Pat, look, man, I want you to extend plays. I want you to do what you got to do. And some of those hits were unavoidable. I'm not saying out of those 15 hits, 8 of them are probably hits he's taking no matter what. and that's too many. But there were a good 5 to 7 hits in that game he just didn't have to take. And like that, and again, this falls on the coaching staff too. His average depth of target in this game was over 14 yards. That's insane. Like, I'm all for pushing the ball, but I don't understand why they didn't attack this Bills team by just saying they stink defensively. Just throw the ball 8 yards a clip, run the ball, and just dog walk them right in the end zone. Like, they're not good enough. And I got to tell you, if you play like that, it also takes away the pass rush.
Yeah, right.
You know, but they just allowed for the game to get away. And I thought Mahomes, look, it's hard to say this without seeing the L-22, but in the moment, it felt like he had to just cut the ball loose sometimes.
Yeah.
And it was almost like good was the enemy of great in that game. Or great was the enemy of good, I should say. Like,
there you go. Yeah.
Just take the 8 yards. Take 10. It's fine. And that's why I said earlier, and if any Bills fans watching this, they're probably giving me the finger, and that's fine. Hey, listen, I give myself the finger all the time. I just walk around just with the middle finger in front of my own face because I deserve it. It's why if they play them again, I just honestly feel like they'll win. Like, I feel like they couldn't be any more horrendous in that game in 20 different areas.
Right.
And the Bills are an out-of-body experience. And we're sweating out a Tyquan Thornton jump ball. That would have, by the way, look, it didn't happen. Right? That would have been the funniest possible way for them to win that game.
100%.
When that ball was coming down for a brief second, I was like, he's got position on Cole Bishop. And if he extends, he's going to catch the ball. And you knew at that point, they're going for 2. This is going to be unbelievable. The Bills would have had to fold as a franchise. If the Chiefs had won that game,
they would have had to tear down the other stadium too. They would have had to tear down both stadiums.
It would have been a dual demolition.
Right. Yes.
Yes. And they would have all just the team would have they would have had to disband. I mean, watching that game, I was like, how this is even a 7-point game, I have no idea. And it was don't let people fool you either. It was legitimately a 7-point game. It wasn't one of these bullshit things where they had some late garbage time score. The Chiefs got the ball back down 7 with 6 minutes left.
True.
Didn't score, got the ball back, and that was a little bit of a Hail Mary. Had 2 reasonable shots that maybe could score here. The second the Chiefs converted 4th and 17, I was like, oh, Buffalo, they are sweating this out like nobody's business.
You saw the missed field goal. They panned to the crowd and they're like, "Oh no!" everyone there was like, "Oh no, we doinked it." Now now Patrick Mahomes gets a shot.
When they got to the 40, there was a part of me that I was like, I know they're out of timeouts.
Right.
I wonder if they will try to get a quick throw to the sideline for 10 more yards, and then he just drops back and guns 2 in the end zone down the seam. It's the last one I knew when he threw it didn't have enough juice to get there because he just didn't block anybody.
Yeah. For some fucking reason on a Hail Mary, they're like, oh, we'll just let you guys go. We're good.
Also, way to roll him to the left, fellas. But in any event, the play prior, I really briefly was like, oh my God, he's going to catch this. An expatriate who the Bills hate with a passion catches this thing. And I was like, if they get this, the Bills have a 0% chance of stopping a 2-point conversion right now.
Right. Yeah, it was done.
They're so cooked at that point. Speaking of cooked, because we got to get back. We never talked about it. The Bengals-Bears game.
We have to talk about this game.
Maybe we end on this. Not going to be a funny note. This. For anyone who didn't see this game, you missed a real treat.
So the way that I had it, right, is I had it on the quad box, right? I've kind of explained my process of how I watch these games. I had it on the quad box. It was always on in the corner because I was always keeping at least one eye on it and be like, what's going on down there? Because this game, there's not words to say for this. I think that the Bengals become the first team to score 38 points in back-to-back games since the 60s and lose. Which is an incredible stat.
Pretty sure that's the old 1966 Giants.
It might be.
I don't want to make that poll, but The 1966 Giants didn't think we were going to end up here in this podcast, but one of the more hilarious football teams to ever exist. So,
Yeah.
That team went 1-12-1. They started out with a tie and then lost games 52-7, 31-3, 55-14, and then had the two games I believe you're referring to.
Yeah.
Weeks 12 and 13, they played Washington, they played Cleveland. The latter game, I'll start with the latter game. They lost to the Browns 49-40.
Oh.
Doesn't even hold a candle to the funniest result of that year. They played a Washington team that was incredibly bullshit, 7-7. Just Jeff Fisher 8-8 bullshit. Okay, they scored 41 points in that game. They lost by 31 points, 72-41. That's right.
Oh my gosh.
That's right. The
Just like before the forward pass too. That's crazy.
Might as well have been. First year of the Super Bowl. Yeah, the Giants in a 14-game season that year gave up 501 points. And in that game against Washington, gave up 72. Here's what makes this the best, though. Washington scored 72 points in that game and were outgained 389-341.
Unbelievable.
They took 8 penalties for 107 yards and had 2 turnovers and scored 72 points against the Giants. That's right. That's right. Just an absolute tire fire. Washington scored on a touchdown pass, a 63-yard run, a 62-yard scoop and score, a 1-yard run, a 9-yard run, a 32-yard pass, a 74-yard pass, a 52-yard punt return, a 60-yard pick six, a 45-yard rush, and then just for kicks at the end, a 29-yard field goal.
Nice. Way to finish.
3 non-offensive scores. Anyway, look, the bottom line is the Bengals are the 1966 Giants.
Yeah, so the Bengals were down in this game. Was this another home game, right, for the Bengals?
Oh, yeah, home, yeah.
After,
their own fans got to witness this.
After having an embarrassing loss to the Jets. They were down 41-27 at one point in this game. In the fourth quarter of this game, I should mention.
At the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, oh, yes, at the 2-minute warning. 2-11, they get an interception, and they're down 41-27. They then storm back to take a lead with 49 seconds left in the game, a 42-41 lead. The very following drive, the Bengals defense, man, this is a patent drive by the Bengals defense. Also very funny. They took the lead with 49 seconds left. Did they get the ball back with 17 seconds left? No, I mean, this drive, this Bears touchdown drive did not take very long.
Nope.
I mean, it took nearly no time at all. It was 25 seconds left. Caleb Williams threw a pass to Colston Loveland for 58 yards. They gave up a 58-yard touchdown play to let the Chicago Bears go up to a 47-42 lead. Their 2-point conversion failed, and then Joe Flacco threw an interception to end the game.
Yeah. On that Colston Loveland touchdown, by the way, they hit 3 guys, hit them simultaneously, and all just fall down. After the game, they just completely boiled over. Like Jamar Chase was furious.
Yeah, he was saying like we just need one stop or something like that.
Chase Brown was like, one fucking stop, man. Do anything.
Yeah.
Like I'd love to make fun of those guys, like because it's not make fun of those guys, but like make fun of the Bengals offense because
they chose to stay there. So
correct, can't do it. Like that defense, the Bengals offense, if they fought them in the locker room, it's justified at this point. So they gave up 503 yards to the Jets last week, which I think is impossible. They gave up 576 yards to the Bears this week.
Oh my gosh.
576 yards.
That's awful.
I mean, by the way, and the Bears, look, it gets lost to history. They get away with it. Did you see the onside kick Cincinnati recovered?
No, I didn't. I'd missed that one.
McPherson kicked the ball like 8 yards. Okay, which if it doesn't go 10 yards, for anyone who's unaware of the rule, then you can't recover it if you're the offensive team, right, or the kicking team. However, you can recover it if it hits a guy on the other team. Well, this Bears player runs into the zone and just kicks it.
Nice.
Gets recovered.
Gosh.
What are you doing? Like it's not even a live ball at this point. Bears don't care, baby. And then walk him down the field with Joe Flacco. And then the Bears came back and won. Look, I know they won't because they're the Bengals and they're the cheapest organization on earth. They should fire everybody. Every single person involved in this thing. They should fire the GM, who's, by the way, been there for 25 years. They should fire the coach.
Yep.
Zach Taylor, other than like one majestic run, what has he done there?
Not a lot.
Not anything. Not anything at all. Like, Al Golden might be the worst defensive coordinator to ever walk on a football field.
To be fair, not his fault. He's never coached the NFL level before. The Bengals said, yeah, that guy.
Bengals are like, look, we understand you have no experience and you're taking over a team with no talent. We think it's going to work.
Impossible for Al Golden. I'm not blaming this on Al Golden at all. He has done an impossible job.
I mean, yikes. So that's where we're at here. That's where we're at. The Bengals, listen, I know the Chiefs lost this game. It was an extremely frustrating game. It felt like a game the Chiefs had, if they just played well, could have very much won. They didn't, and they didn't. They go into the bye 5-4, and realistically speaking, they are playing for the division on next, not this upcoming because they had the bye, but the following Sunday.
Yep.
They win that game. They're one game back at Denver in the loss. Their schedule is not hard after the Colts game, and they play Denver again at home. Like, they have every opportunity in the world to win the division. In fact, by the way, the Athletic, they still model the Chiefs as the favorite in the division.
Yeah.
But look, they got to win that game. And if you want any shot at a 1 seed, you're going to have to run the table. Like, that's just reality. And maybe that's not even enough. But, like, that would be their only shot to do it. They got a lot of work ahead of them. And they lost a game against Buffalo that I'm not going to say they should have won because Buffalo played them. But, like, had they have played a quality game, I think they could have very well won the game. But the good news is you could be a Bengals fan. And you're not. So go to sleep. And if you're the religious type, hit your knees and thank God. Because as bad as this is, a Bengals fan right now would probably cut their arm off with a credit card to not root for that team currently. So, yeah, you got that going for you.
You would cut your arm off with your credit card, and then Mike Brown would ask for what your number was for your credit card so he could take your money and not use it on your team.
We need money to fly in guys for the Ring of Honor, please. Does anyone have any money?
It's legitimately insane. I had to look up earlier today how long Zach Taylor still had on his contract. He's through 2026 is what he has, and you know that they're not
whatever it is too long.
100%, it is too long. And I remember when they hired him, and it was like, that's an interesting one.
Well, I'll tell you what they weren't going to do: hire somebody who they had to pay. And
great point.
Have they ever hired a coach in the history of the franchise that was previously a head coach somewhere?
Well, let's look, because it looks like that Zach Taylor was the quarterback's coach at the Rams prior to his.
Oh no, I know he wasn't. So
yeah.
All right, so here I'll tell you right now.
Okay.
So Paul Brown was their first coach, who's like the godfather of football because he owned the team. So like he put himself in charge. Bill Johnson came in. By the way, for people who don't know, it's a little fun history about the Bengals. Bill Walsh, who went on to win 4 Super Bowls with the 49ers, one of the greatest offensive minds of all time, was the Bengals assistant coach and actually created the West Coast offense with the Bengals.
Oh, I didn't know it was with the Bengals, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And he desperately wanted to take over the job for Paul Brown when he went upstairs to be the owner. But Paul Brown was like threatened by him and hired Bill Johnson instead. Okay. So yeah, that's how that went. And then Walsh, by the way, beat him in 2 Super Bowls. So they hired Bill Johnson. Bill Johnson is whatever, never goes to the playoffs. Fine.
Right.
Homer Rice then became the coach. Who's Homer Rice? Exactly. Forrest Gregg took over. Now, Forrest Gregg was a great all-time player, and he actually was a head coach prior to getting into Cincinnati, but was in Cleveland, had absolutely zero success.
Right.
Was a pretty good coach, actually, for the Bengals, but left after 4 years. Sam Weiss was a very good coach for the Bengals, went to a Super Bowl, but he had no prior head coaching experience. He was a quarterback for the Bengals.
Ooh.
Don Shula's son, Dave Shula, was the coach. Let me tell you something. Dave Shula, not Don Shula, 19-52.
I think this guy is their first one.
Bruce Coslett, terrible. Dick LeBeau, unbelievable as a defensive coordinator, terrible. Then maybe the funniest hire of all time, not because they hired him, but because of how long he stayed.
I mean,
Marvin Lewis went 131, 122, and 3, and 0-7 in the playoffs, and the Bengals were like, awesome, 16 years. And now it's Zach Taylor. So the only coach they've ever hired with prior NFL head coaching experience, Paul Brown not counting since he owned the damn team.
right, yeah.
The only guy they hired with previous experience was Forrest Gregg. And Forrest Gregg in Cleveland for 3 years was 18-23. So I'm guessing they didn't have to give him a fortune to get him to come to town. Like, they've never hired a head coach who ever had any like positive experience anywhere else.
Oh, right.
Because they just won't spend a dime. So if Zach Taylor does get fired, just understand that it's going to be a coordinator you've never heard of in your life who's taking over that job.
I was trying to pull up Dave Girardi, the Chiefs quarterback coach.
I mean, I would say Matt Nagy, but he actually had head coaching experience. So
He's going to be the Titans head coach already. Sorry. He's already spoken for.
you know what I got to tell you? I know we're going to end it. Like,
No, yeah, whatever. It's fine. I don't care.
like you mentioned Cam Ward earlier.
He stinks. Yeah,
I don't want to dogpile on the guy, but like,
fair. He said he's ass. To be fair, he said we're
we ass.
we ass. So
And they are ass.
I think he knows it.
But no, and I'm not, and listen, you say what you want. You're not wrong. But my point is like, Cam Ward went 12-21 for 145 yards and a QBR of 13.8. They scored 6 offensive points. Okay.
Oh,
Against the Chargers.
brutal.
Like, if you're Matt Nagy or Arthur Smith, I get it. If you get offered that job, you're like, I'm Matt Nagy or I'm Arthur Smith. I'm like, this is probably like my time to shine here.
Right, yeah. I got another head coaching opportunity. What?
But, man, you can't tell me you're super pumped to take that job. You're like, man, awesome. Cam Ward time, baby.
Wasn't Arthur Smith the OC there?
Yeah, like, he was for Tannehill, yeah.
Right, and did, like a long time before he took the Falcons job, he was the OC there.
Calvin Ridley's like, we're going to win this year, baby. Bet on it.
They're trying to trade Calvin Ridley, which he has $1 billion left on his contract, and there's no one trading for him.
Good luck trading Calvin Ridley, okay? It is, like, that's the kind of job I look at, and I'm like, who is, like, gleefully taking this job? Who's just like, awesome.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Like, poor Mike Bergonzi, man.
Yeah.
Goes there and
Poor
like
Mike.
everything gets put into the Cam Ward basket, and I don't care who you're watching that thing going. He's not good.
Yeah. They didn't have a choice, though. Like, who else were they going to take?
I know.
But-
Like, honest to God, like, do the Cardinals fire everybody just because they lost to the Titans?
I think you have to. Jonathan Gannon, I mean, that losing to the Titans made him hit a dude. Hit one of his players.
Man lost control. Oh, my God. Bro, I'm looking at the Titans schedule. I found it the worst game in NFL history.
Oh, gosh. I haven't looked at the Titans schedule.
Okay. Week 17.
Okay.
When you have like teams that are out of it are just
Cashing out. They are.
clubs over the shoulder heading into the building, right? Like
Right, yeah.
the Titans are hosting the Saints. I mean, that's going to be an all-timer.
I'm going to be glued. I'm going to be glued to my screen for that game.
December 28th, high noon, baby.
Well, I hope so. I hope that's a new.
Oh, my God. That game.
I'll do a live watch along for that game. I will go live every minute of that game. Wait, did the Chiefs play at the same time?
No, they play on Christmas, so you're free.
Oh, awesome. Great.
Honest to God, we got to talk to Kissel. I might join you for that. That's going to be unbelievable. Tyler Shuck and Cam Ward. Tyler Shuck's going to be 38 years old at that point. Just swinging it. I think Mike McCoy's going to be chain smoking. His mouth's going to look like a prairie fire during that game. It's unbelievable that game is even allowed to be played. Like, does the NFL put that behind a paywall?
I think we have to put that behind a paywall. If we're going to be watching that sucker, I'm curious what the chat will say. If people listen all the way to the end of the podcast or sticking around an hour and 2 minutes into the podcast, they probably also would like to watch that. But like, Saints Titans is wild, man. Holy cow.
That game, you got a real shot that both those teams have one win going into that game.
Yeah.
And that's like for the number one pick in the draft.
Ooh. So they're both not going to be trying.
It's going to be the Titans and Saints both trying to lose.
In Nashville.
Oh, my God.
I just clicked the overview on NFL.com for this. I know that there's still there's still a lot of time left to be played. Points per game. This is the 31st and 32nd teams in points per game. 15.3 versus 14.4 for the Titans. Incredible.
That is a disgusting football game. The ESPN has its matchup predictor.
Oh, yeah. What is that at?
You want to take a guess who's favored in this game?
Probably New Orleans. I'd say New Orleans.
You'd be wrong.
Really?
Tennessee at 57.6%. Dude, I'm looking at New Orleans' slate right now. They might win another game. So they got the Panthers on the 5-4 Panthers, apparently.
Yeah,
Panthers,
same record as the Chiefs. That's
the
right.
Falcons, the Dolphins on the road. Don't know if they can handle the Dolphins on the road. The Bucks, the Panthers, and then they have the Jets at home before they play the Titans.
Well, they might sneak one past the Jets.
They might.
They snuck one past the Giants. Somehow they beat the Giants.
Yeah, they did. The Titans have no stuff. Dude, the Titans are going to get rolled, man. Texans, Seahawks, Jags, at the Browns. Say whatever you want about the Browns. They're going to get shut out in that game.
That could be a watch-along game, though, too, to be fair.
The Niners and then the Chiefs. They are going to get annihilated.
You know what's so funny is like they're playing a last play schedule because they were obviously the worst team in the league last year. No favors, so they got no favors in that schedule.
Oh my God. I mean,
that's brutal.
Like, that Titans Saints game has the potential to be one of the all-time calamities in the sports history.
Yeah, that's going to be good. I'm actually really excited for that game.
Tyler Shuck just checking down on 3rd and 10, 3-yard gain.
4th and 12. He's checking
Every
down.
single veteran on both these teams in street clothes, just making flights for Boca Raton.
Right. Panama City Beach.
Palm Beach action, little Pebble Beach later on, fly cross country.
Right.
So listen, as much as the Chiefs sucked on Sunday,
could be worse.
it could be a lot worse. Factor that into your day.
It could be worse. Seahawks rolling as we're recording this. I assume that they've already won by the time you're listening to this.
38-7 currently.
Commanders suck, man.
They even have Daniels in this game. Like,
yeah.
Seahawks are a wagon.
Seahawks might be good. Seahawks might be good. Cardinals, Cowboys on Monday Night Football. I am not interested in that game at all.
Oh, my God. That game is horrendous.
Not interested in that game at all, and we'll see how it goes. I think what Jacoby Brissett's still playing, right? And Kyler Murray's not even playing in that game.
I'm not even sure Kyler Murray's like hurt. Has anyone figured out what the hell's wrong with Kyler? Is it like an ankle or something?
He's playing too many video games. Battlefield 6 did just come out, I think, so it's probably what he's playing. He just can't get off
the thumb, hitting the joystick.
He just can't get off the game. Yeah, I don't know what Kyler Murray's deal is, actually.
Like, he's just like one day popped up on the injury report and they're like, he's done now.
Foot.
Okay.
Nice.
Great.
Thanks.
Probably fell asleep while he was playing those video games, went to get up and sprained that mother, falling down a step or something.
God. Yeah. The Cardinals are another team that are just absolutely ass. So how do they have 2 wins? Who did
They beat the Saints.
Okay. All right.
A goal line stand, and they beat the Panthers.
This league, man, doesn't make any sense.
This is why when people in the comments are going to be, the Chiefs are dog. No, they're not, bro. I look around the NFL.
All the good teams played bad this week. That's also the other thing. It's like
saying, but yeah, that's the whole thing, right? Like if you're a Chiefs fan, you just like, I'm out on the Lions now. Like, no, of course not. Like, and they're 5-3, and like you killed the Lions. Like, look, this whole season. One thing to me is very obvious. This is all just going to come down to who the hell gets hot in January, because there is no dominant team. Right. There's nobody in the league this year. You're like, that team's just miles better than it. Who gets hot? Who's healthy? Who plays well? And like, that's kind of it. As Seattle continues to just annihilate Washington. I mean, Vinovich, who is just calling the game? Is that Vinovich? Whoever it is, he's dying to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, they probably talked about running clock at halftime. You know what they do in high school? Like, hey, guys.
He was doing that, like, wind the clock motion after they called the penalty, but, like, windmilling it like he was basically waving the guy home from third in Game 7 of the series.
Shout out to the Dodgers. I bought the Dodgers pennant.
Dude.
Unfortunate that I had to buy another Dodgers pennant, but it is pretty sick. I don't know if you saw the picture of it, but it's a pretty sick pennant.
I got to tell you, if you're Toronto, that's a game you're going to wake up in a cold sweat over for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Oof.
By the way, last thing out of my mouth for this pod, shout out to these nerds on Twitter who are like, you know, if Kiner Falefa had gotten an extra half step off the bag there on his secondary lead, says Joe Potato on the couch, who if he took a secondary lead, his fucking knees would shatter. Whereas, like, hey, you know, this guy over here who I know nothing about, he's got to take more of a lead there. And then, like, I think it was Whit Merrifield on Twitter was like, shut up, nerd. Like, I just stuffed him in a locker and gave like 8 reasons why that was wrong. Yeah. And I'm like, look, man, I'm not going to, like, I played baseball in high school, but that's as far as I could take it. Like, I am certainly not going to be the guy here who's like waxing on about all of my knowledge of the sport. I will tell you this. You know what I do know is worse than that? Having a 2-strike count on the 9-hitter with 2 outs to go in the World Series, and you go full on the guy because you're trying to be cute around the edge of the zone, and then you're like, listen, I know I throw 100. I'm just going to flip a slider up there and see what happens. Yeah. Bro, you're a professional baseball pitcher and a good one, a closer. Like, you throw like 98 with ease. Throw it to the outside half of the plate and just be like, look, man, you want to go bridge opposite field 410 feet? Like, go nuts. You're not going to do it. You're hitting 9th. You've hit like 1 homer since the Reagan administration. I don't care. Like, the only thing you can't do there is give him a meatball. It is the only thing. I don't care if he hits a double. If he hits a double, I just walk Ohtani. I don't give a shit. Like, fine.
Right. Yeah.
Hit it. And he throws him a 3-2 slider and just hangs it on a tee, and the guy hits it to the moon. And then you get these nerds, well, you know, if Kiner Falefa had taken an extra 6 inches of a lead, like, shut up. Are you kidding me? That's your takeaway from that game?
Right.
Not moonball guy here in the 9th? Like, what, are you kidding? Or Bieber who gets Ohtani out and there's 2 outs and he's like, Will Smith, I don't know, right down the middle.
Right, yeah. God. Nerds are ruining the game that we love.
Ridiculous nerds.
They're ruining it. All right, that's going to do it for this podcast. Thank you all for listening to the very end of the podcast. We will be back on Friday. We're going to preview Oh, we won't have a Chiefs game to preview, but we'll preview plenty of Week 10. Damn. Week 10 action in the NFL. Chiefs bye week. We'll probably have some Chiefs. Hopefully there's a Chiefs trade that we can break down. That would be pretty sick.
Can't lose this week.
Unless.
Bye's favored by 3.5.
The bye did beat the Raiders last week. I did hear that the bye did get one up over the Raiders. And we will see how it goes for the Chiefs. I think the bye week is coming at a much needed time for the Chiefs, as well as me. It's coming at a good time for me as well.
I need to lie down.
Which I'm going to go do that. Appreciate everybody liking and subscribing. Quick before we leave, I'm going to do the check of the 5-star rating and reviews to make sure we don't have any. A real podcast professional would do this before right now, but here's a secret. I'm not a real podcast professional. No new 5-star reviews. All right, guys, get your game up. 5-star rating and review, and I will read it on the podcast. You guys already know. But that's going to do it for Matt Verderame. I'm Tucker Franklin. Thank you guys so much. We got plenty of stuff for you here at KC Sports Network. The KC Laboratory will be live tonight as well at 8 p.m. Then we'll have Only We're Games, that football show. That's us and all the other content. So we will talk to you guys next on Friday. We'll talk to you on Friday. See you then.